So to do this one, this exercise in piece, you're going to need a light red and a dark, just plain red, and then get a lighter pink color. The one that I have here is called Jazzberry Jam, but you could just get a pink, any pink. So we need a red and a pink. Color's either red, yellow, or blue. So then we need a dark yellow and a light yellow. I picked goldenrod and plain yellow. And then this is just plain blue and sky blue. And then we need, so those are the primaries right there. Red, yellow, and blue. So we need a really light pink, and a red, a light yellow, and a dark yellow, a light blue, and a dark blue. And then we need, in the purple family, we need a dark purple and a light purple. Some of the light purples are wisteria or orchid. I happen to have Purple Mountain Majesty here, but just get a dark purple and a light purple, and a dark orange and a light orange. So I picked plain orange and macaroni and cheese. And then in the green family, we need a dark green and a light green. And I picked forest green for my dark green and spring green for my light green. You don't have to have those colors, but okay. So once we have those colors, just put them off to the side and we will begin this drawing. So we'll start with a pencil and we're going to draw a hexagon. So a hexagon is basically this isn't a square, and this is in the center of your paper. So we're going to draw two lines like that. It's not a square. A square I would have put the line right there probably. So it's a little bit longer, and then you're going to put like an arrow on one side and an arrow on the other side. And then we have sort of what a good place to start. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to make a triangle to the center. And we're going to color that in red. I'm going to outline it, and then color one row, then another row, then another row, color it again, and then kind of scribble color. I call it freestyle. Okay, so there we have a nice red. Then we're gonna skip a block, and we're gonna put that goldenrod, that yellow in there. I'm gonna outline it and then color it. I like to color in rows. Color once, color twice, get the edges, freestyle. So there we have a yellow. And then we're going to do this block over here. Red, yellow, and blue. It's always a good idea to as we study about peace to take a deep breath. So you can just sort of take a deep breath as you color. Let it out slowly. It's always a good thing for peace. Breathe deep breaths. All right. So after we have that, then I'm going to ask you to just put like a half a circle on the end of each of these. Just because it's nice to think of red as being like a light color. So pink, light blue, and we're going to use plain yellow. So just don't push down hard. That's how you get light colors. You barely touch the paper. You don't squeeze the crayon. It just sort of sits in your hand. And then you have these really great light colors. All right. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to ask you to just make kind of a crazy shape. All the colors come out of the primaries. I remember when my children were little, in order for me to save money on paint, I would just go buy a quart of red, yellow, and blue and started saving all my jars, and I could mix whatever color I wanted to out of red, yellow, and blue. So let's just everything, you can make all the colors out of those three. So let's get to know that sort of system here, which is why I had you pick out an orange. Like if you mix red and yellow, you make orange. Now I'm going to turn the paper towards me here. And what I'm going to ask you to do is push down hard right in the center. Not very far out. And then I want you to let go of the crayon and push and just do back and forth about 3 or 4 times. So that'll give you a lighter orange. And then if you barely touch the paper and go back a couple of times, like 2 or 3 times, that'll get you an even lighter orange. So let's start at the back and push down hard, then medium, then soft. So we want to get the darkest orange that's possible. And then we're going to switch to our lighter orange color, and let's just outline this end of it. Of your design, and then just really softly color it into that other color. I just want to kind of get a little range here of what are our choices with orange. So we could get dark oranges, medium oranges, light oranges. And then let's change the paper and do the same thing with, like if you mix yellow and blue, you get green. So we're going to take our dark green and push down hard. See what that looks like. And then we're going to push down medium and go back and forth about 5 times. 3, 4, 5. Then I'm going to push down really softly and see what I can get on that. How soft can you color with a crayon? Then I'm going to take my light green and do the same thing we did before. So you'll notice that the light greens have more yellow in them. I'm going to move it down into that color a little bit. Go over the whole thing. I just want to give you a feeling for a green that goes from a dark green. You can go back to the other one if you want to add some more. A dark green, a medium green, and a light green. I just want you to sort of see the intensity. Okay, let's do the same thing with purple. Dark purple, medium purple, light purple, dark purple, medium purple, light purple. And then we'll take that lighter purple and kind of outline it and color it in. And so now we have this kind of interesting design. What I'd like to do is to take a black crayon, because we always want to remember that color starts out as red, yellow, or blue. So we just want to kind of keep that in mind. So before we start inventing some colors, what I want you to start to understand, just like in, there's opposites. It seems like day and night. The world is just full of opposites, of two parts coming together, or, you know, there's yin and yang, and, I don't know, there's just opposites in nature and all kinds of things. So color has opposites too. So I just want you to, let's just look here at the yellow and purple. Those are opposites. So I just want you to draw two circles. Okay. And one's purple. Pick any purple you want. Purple and yellow. And so what we're going to do is you're going to put a square in front of that. And what I'd like you to do is take that purple and just color as soft as you can. And then take that yellow and put it on top. And go kind of put them back and forth with each other, and what you're going to make is basically a brown. Okay? Okay. Now, let's going to take what happens with red. So now we know what happens with yellow. I'm going to go to the end of this one. I'm going to turn it upside down. We've got red. The opposite of red is green. So we're going to draw two circles, because I want you to, I would like you to remember these opposites. You can think of a red light and a green light, or Christmas, or whatever you can think of. And then you're going to do the same thing with that. I'm going to ask you to very, very softly, because the way we mix colors is you put down very, very soft color and then another color on top of it. And there we have another brown. So when opposites mix with each other, they make brown. Okay, so let's go to the last one. The opposite of blue is orange. So let's put a blue and an orange. I didn't push down very hard. Blue and orange. I have plain blue and plain orange. And then we're going to make a block. And put a very light color, because if you push down hard with a blue, then you have to think of paper as like a gazillion little buckets that if you fill them up, the party's over. So there we go again. You can see that when you put opposites together, they make brown. And so because I want you to memorize these opposites, what I'd like you to do is just go like that and put them there. You don't have to mix the browns, but I want you to just, on top of each red, yellow, and blue, I want you to put the opposites. If you have to look on the other side, you can look on the other side. And then I was thinking this would be a kind of fun thing to do. While you're coloring, I want you to breathe in one color and breathe out the other color. Take a deep breath of purple and then exhale with yellow. Just think about that as you color. And then you can color these any color you want. Whatever you think would look nice. They can be any color you want. Breathe in red, breathe out green. So, I thought this would be an interesting way to see conflict resolution. That maybe you are having a difficulty with something, someone. And so what I want you to do is mix colors. Like you're going to just you can go to any shape and just twirl this thing around anywhere you want. And I want you to just make a shape. They could be a rounded shape. I mean, these can be any shape you want. Okay? You can go anywhere you want with them. You could make any shape you want. And so, here's what I'm going to ask you to do. I'm going to ask you to put down, just pick up any color in the crayon box. Okay? I would outline it first, and I don't push down hard with the first color. because I want you to mix them. Okay, so you're going to take a color. I just took purple. Now I don't want to put a yellow on it. Because that would make it a brown. So I want to pick a color that would be sort of in harmony. So I could put a red on top or a pink. Okay. If you don't like the color you picked up, pick another one up and go, oh, I'm not crazy about how that color looks. So I want you to start to just kind of get a little familiar with color harmony. Okay? So just, like I say, just pick up any color. Maybe one you don't know very well. And get to know it. Look at the label. Get to read it. So I picked up kind of it's called Cadet Blue. So it's like, what could I put on it to make it a really beautiful color? And you could just start to think, what could I do to improve a situation? What can I do? Like if there's if I put down orange, and the conflict is blue, what I like to have you think about is that in order for it to be more harmonious in its relationship here, maybe it just has to be not quite so orange. You know, like maybe you're feeling kind of intense and like a really intense orange. Well, maybe if you thought of being a little lighter orange and not quite so intense, then maybe you'd have more harmony. But I also want you to know that like oranges look really nice next to blue. Like a lot of artists use orange next to blue because if there's something, you know, they look really nice, and you see it in nature all the time. Think of a geranium, a beautiful red next to a green. So they look really nice next to each other. And so no one is really asking anyone to not be themselves, you know, not to be who you are. Just think of yourself maybe as being able to be a little less, sometimes I feel like if I'm getting upset or something, I can still be who I am and express my thoughts, but I just try to be a little gentler. So just think of all the gentle colors you can make. Like when you're making purples, you could make a reddish purple or a bluish purple. That's pretty much what purple does. also want you to just see how, I mean, I think browns are very, very beautiful. And so another thing I'd like to have you try to do is to just take a color, any color, and then put one of these light browns over it, like tumbleweed or apricot or peach. Just take a light brown, and to me, it's kind of like, again, being a little bit less intense. You know, it's like, just put a color down. I'll just use something called wild strawberry. I'm going to put wild strawberry down, and then I'm going to put a brown over it. Put down a nice soft layer. And then maybe I'll put tumbleweed on top of it. So what it does is, it's still a beautiful color, but it's just not quite so intense. I just thought it would be kind of a nice idea to just sort of play with a little color harmony. Okay, so now we're going to just, add as many colors as you want to around this drawing. Just create a shape and start to play with it. I thought what I would do is I would read a few piece quotes while you color. If a person really knows what goes around comes around, they wouldn't commit evil acts. Maya Angelou. You can, I can, she can, he can. We can make a little bit of difference in this world. Raoul Midan. So what do you do with yellow? You could just put yellow is going to either turn towards the greens or towards the reds. So it's either going to be like an orangey color or a greenish color. You just wouldn't want to, put purple on top of it, unless you were going to try to create a brown or a gray. It's the law of love that rules mankind. Gandhi. Education is the most powerful weapon you can use to change the world. Nelson Mandela. So hopefully you can teach some of your family and your friends and your neighbors about crayons and about mixing them and thinking about peace a little bit with color. That I just love the idea that there are opposites. There are opposites all over the world, and but there are ways that we can sort of be harmonious if we learn a little bit from color. That I just think just thinking about how to change a little bit to create a little peace somewhere in your world. Without forgiveness, without reconciliation, we have no future. Desmond Tutu. And think about this: when you are critical of someone else, which is something we all have to be careful of. I love this quote. He has the right to criticize who has the heart to help. Abraham Lincoln. This is the way of peace. Overcome evil with good, and falsehood with truth, and hatred with love. Peace, Pilgrim. Good actions give strength to ourselves and inspire good actions in others. Plato. Anytime you have the opportunity to make a difference in this world and you don't, then you're wasting your time on earth. Roberto Clemente. Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it is the only thing that ever has. Margaret Mead. Be the change you want to see in the world. Gandhi. If a person seems wicked, do not cast him away. Awaken him with your words. Elevate him with your deeds. Repay his injury with kindness. Do not cast him away. When we genuinely forgive, we set a prisoner free and then discover that the prisoner we set free was us. Lewis B. Smedes. And it's sometimes it's nice to do is to pick up a color that you don't normally, that you don't like. And then I had a teacher one time, and what he suggested that I do, this was an exercise we had to do. You had to pick a color you didn't like and then put something next to it to make you like it. It kind of reminds me of Abraham Lincoln's quote of, "I don't like that man. I must get to know him better." So maybe getting to know a color better is something that by putting something next to it will make you like it. That's what I thought that was an interesting way to kind of think about color. Courage is what it takes to stand up and speak. Courage is also what it takes to sit down and listen. Winston Churchill. I had a cousin, he went to hear the Dalai Lama speak, and I asked him, what did you one thing you walked away with from listening to the Dalai Lama speak? And he said, the importance of listening. So then I started collecting quotes about listening. I like to listen. I have learned a great deal from listening carefully. Ernest Hemingway. Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. If you spend more time asking appropriate questions rather than giving answers or opinions, your listening skills will increase. Brian Kozlov. 1 minute of patience, 10 years of peace. Greek Proverbs. It's the little things citizens do that will make the difference. Wangari Maathai. You have everything you need for complete peace and total happiness right now. Wayne W. Dyer. Forgiveness means letting go of the past.
Gerald G. Jampolsky. We cannot sow seeds with clenched fists. Adolf Perez Esquivel. Peace can be made in the neighborhoods, the living rooms, the playing fields, and in the classrooms of our country. You still make the personal choices, and you are still in charge of your own destiny. Jimmy Carter. When people talk, listen completely. Ernest Hemingway. Peace is a daily, weekly, a monthly process, gradually changing opinions, slowly eroding old barriers, quietly building new structures. John F. Kennedy. A quiet conscience makes one strong. Anne Frank. The more peace there is in us, the more peace there will be in our troubled world. Now, the next thing I'd like you to do is to get to know the browns. And so take the browns out of the crayon box. So now that you've mixed so many colors, just make some more shapes and get to know how beautiful the browns are. You know, when opposites get together and they create a new color. And so there's chestnut, there's tumbleweed, there's burnt sienna, raw sienna, there's apricot and peach and all kinds of brown, and there's brown. So look at the reddish browns, the grayish browns, and so that's what happens with brown. You know, you'll have a brown that looks a little bit reddish, or and I just want you to see how nicely they fit in our picture that you're creating right now. So just take out the browns and start to see how beautiful they are. Now that you know a little bit, have a little background on how to make these other colors. Truth is a deep kindness that teaches us to be content in our everyday life. Kahlil Gibran. Celebrate diversity, practice acceptance, and we may all choose peaceful options to conflict. Donzella Michelle Malone. We are each walking agents of the vision of peace we carry inside us. Kathleen Vandy Kieft. The power of love overcomes the love of power. When the power of love overcomes the love of power, the world will know peace. Jimi Hendrix. Happiness is part of who we are. Joy is the feeling. Tony DeLiso. When we feel love and kindness towards others, it not only makes others feel loved and cared for, but it helps us also to develop the inner happiness and peace. To develop inner happiness and peace. The Dalai Lama. The things you do for yourself are gone when you are gone, but the things you do for others remain. Kahlua and Kahlua. May the sun bring you new energy by day. May the moon softly restore you by night. May the rain wash away your worries. May the breeze blow new strength into your being. May you walk gently through the world and know its beauty all the days of your life. an Apache blessing. So let's see, I'll find some more here. There are no small acts of kindness. Every compassionate act makes large the world. Mary Ann Rodemaker. Never be afraid to raise your voice for honesty and truth and compassion against injustice and greed. If people all over the world would do this, it would change the earth. William Faulkner. See no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil. Japanese proverb. Teach peace. Bumper sticker. What you do not want done to you, do not do to others. Confucius. How do we put ourselves in other people's shoes and really feel what they feel, and then use that information to fuel solutions? Paul Bennett. We must see that peace represents a sweeter music. Dr. Martin Luther King.
So the other color to consider when we think about color is gray. And basically what gray is just an adaptation of brown, but you add white to it. And so I remember an art class that I had with a painter, and we had to make all the different colors of gray, warm grays, cool grays, and what that is you take opposites, you take purple and yellow, and you make a gray out of it by adding white. So that's all that, gray is just a brown that has white in it, and it could either be a warm gray if it has, more reds or yellows in it, or a cool gray that has, more blue in it. So when I get to know the gray, it's the same idea, that where opposites come together. Okay, so in the crayon box there's silver, that's one of the grays. There's a gray called tumbleweed, manatee, shadow, so I don't know, it won't take long to get to know the world of gray. This is dark gray.
I thought I would read to you the dedication that I came up with, because I just thought it was nice to think about your senses as you try to sense peace while you color. So the dedication is to your senses. May your eyes have visions of peace. May your eyes see actions of peace. May you find peace in seeing the wonders of nature. To touching, may your hands do the work of peace, to help, to plant, to comfort, to reach out, and to create peace. May your feet walk in the direction of peace. To smelling, may you smell fresh air. May you smell a twig of rosemary when you're upset. May you smell the flowers of a quiet garden and the trees in a silent woods. And may a flower teach you to breathe slowly and deeply. To tasting, may you make choices in what you eat to promote peace. May your thoughts and efforts help feed the hungry. May you help keep our waters, lakes, rivers, and oceans clean for the thirsty. To hearing, may you hear or make music to feel peace. May you be a good listener to promote peace. May your words heal, not hurt. I thought I would show you also this crayon sharpener. I just want you to know that you can sharpen crayons, and it's a Staedtler, Stadtler. And you can get them at any of the office supply stores, Office Max, Office Depot, Staples, and yeah, just get a good sharpener. It's made by the Germans. So I hope you're enjoying, inventing new colors and mixing them together. Let's see what else. If I can help an elderly person today, that will help me live more fully. Rigoberta Menchú. So help the elderly. It's because you're going to be old someday too. So get to know them, and they have lots of stories to tell too, so you can practice your listening skills. No one has yet fully realized the wealth of sympathy, kindness, and generosity hidden in the soul of a child. Emma Goldman. The object of the superior man is truth. Confucius. Doing nothing for others is the undoing of ourselves. Horace Mann. So I thought we should write the word peace at the top of this, just so that we remember that this is it's a drawing about peace. It's not just a bunch of pretty colors. I just wanted you to be reminded of that you learned about opposites and how to make beauty out of it. And because I really think there's a benefit to learning peace quotes, I was thinking we should you can put your favorite peace quote somewhere. And the way I like to do lettering is I like to draw a straight line and then write on top of it. So I'm going to write a peace quote here that I like. Too often we underestimate the power of a touch, a smile, kind word, a listening ear, an honest, and sometimes it's kind of nice to make a crazy line, compliment,
period, comma, or the, because sometimes it's kind of like, I think I'll just write with one word. Simple. Well, maybe I'll do simple act of kindness. Simple act of caring. And then maybe just this little word over here, all. And maybe I'll do a funny line there. All of which have the potential to turn a life. Oops. Two words there. To turn a life around. Leo F. Nostalgia. B. U. S. C. A. G. L. I. A. He wrote a lot of books about love, and it's wonderful. So anyway, and then, I don't know, I could just, it's kind of fun to kind of emphasize a word maybe that you really like. I'm just trying to make it kind of enjoyable for you. Kind of where I find joy is, I love crayons, I love coloring, I love trying to get better at peace, you know. We all try to get better at peace and things like that. I think it's kind of neat. I like it, maybe simple act. Might be a fun thing to emphasize. What would be fun to do is, for anyone to, if you're enjoying this, to make some and send it to me. Do some coloring and thinking about peace and send it to me, and I'll put it on the website. And maybe you could do something like this and make your own stationery. I was kind of thinking that. I was thinking, I should scan this and make stationery out of it. Make some more. So enjoy your crayons, enjoy thinking about peace, and send me some stuff. You could do this if you want. You could take a sharpie and go over your pencil. And then erase it. So I just thought I would show you this. You can see how much faster it goes. And then think is nice with handwriting is if the letters are the same height. But I mean, I do like to do crazy handwriting too. I like to sometimes do cursive and manuscript and kind of mix them up a little. But when you want something, you know, kind of legible, or you know, if you like this look, it's just one of your just one thing that you can do. I just like, you know, keep the midline all the same height the best you can. When I teach handwriting, that's one thing I like to emphasize, is the midline. Just as one of your skill sets. It didn't take too long. And then I'll do peace here. Sometimes it's kind of fun to just kind of take a Sharpie and kind of do some black lines. Sometimes after I finish something, I like to go in with black. I mean, Sharpies don't work that well over crayon, but because they get kind of clogged up. But you know, you could do some black designs on the outside. There's just something about black that when you put it on top of a drawing with a bunch of color, it kind of brings the color out. So I just kind of would encourage you to, you know, have some fun with your Sharpie. A nice big black line, if you want. Sometimes I think I've learned a lot from designs, actually, from different parts of the world. So the Middle East and things like that, they do a lot of interesting, beautiful, detailed designs. And that's kind of what I did in the piece book also. I tried to put designs from around the world, you know, like the patterns down in Africa that you see on the textiles. So you kind of, if you want some ideas for designs, sometimes I just Google, you know, designs like Afghanistan or designs Africa, and there's, you know, there's different styles around the world, which is kind of cool. So I'm just giving you some ideas of how to visually maybe think about the rest of the world and how different cultures actually are such a wonderful thing. It's just so beautiful. It's just so amazing that the designs and the food and how wonderful it is that we're all different, and just learn to appreciate some of our differences. So, all right, well, have fun with crayons and markers, and I'll show you the eraser that I like. It's called a kneaded eraser, Kneaded, and you can actually pull it, and that's how you clean it. And you can just go over something like that, and then it gets rid of all your pencil, and doesn't ruin anything. See what a nice job it does. If there's something really, really tough that I can't erase, then sometimes I'll go to one of these, one of those white erasers, and get something that didn't quite make it. But most of the time I just use a kneaded eraser. You just gotta hold your paper and just go one direction. Just really do a good job holding onto your paper. Otherwise, because you gotta push down fairly hard. So, all right. Have fun. I just ended up, after I turned off the camera, I went around and I put black lines around just on the outside and some on the inside. I don't know, I just felt like it wasn't quite finished, so I just thought I would show you what it looks like when you outline those colors with a Sharpie.
Too often we underestimate the power of a touch, a smile, a kind word, a listening ear, an honest compliment, or the simple act of caring, all of which have the potential to turn a life around.